Jim Lampley. We just witnessed Marquez versus Alvarado. Tell us how you feel about it, and do all roads lead to Marquez versus Pacquiao 5?
I think all roads do lead to Marquez-Pacquiao 5. You know, monetarily, that's what makes sense. I think there'll be more interest in it than I might have thought would be the case, because both guys have looked brilliant in their recent performances. Manny looked brilliant against Bradley, and I thought Marquez looked amazing tonight. I've said many, many times, he's the greatest and most creative combination puncher in the sport. I knew we were going to get a chance to see it tonight because Alvarez isn't that much of a defender. And Marquez was putting punches together the way only he can, landing on the button over and over and over. And eventually he knocked Alvarez down. He cut him badly under the eye. It was a violent give-and-take fight. For a 40-year-old guy, Marquez was just, I hate to use the word, but he was incredible. Really, it's hard to believe that somebody can do what he does. And we've seen it in the past. When he gets into trading fights like this and he's willing to trade shots, he will sometimes go down. Michael Katsidas put him down. Alvarado got him tonight. Juan Diaz hurt him a couple times, etc. That's just a part of the way Marquez fights. You know, he's got to be willing to trade with you in order to show that incredible skill of putting together combinations the way he does, and nobody else can do it. You know, you left cross, or left jab, right cross, left hook, uppercut with the other hand, body shot, hook. And it's remarkable to see him put punches together like that on the fly, and as I said, I don't think anybody else can do it.
With all roads leading to Pacquiao Marquez 5, you would think that Alvarado might go up against Bradley next, given they both lost their last recent fights. But wouldn't it make more sense for Alvarado to fight Rios? They're both coming off a 2-fight losing streak, and it would be the third one of an exciting trilogy.
I think a few months off, maybe a little more than a few months off, because this was rough. And then Rios again. That's the best fight for Alvarado. That's much more of an even match than the other fights are for him. Tim Bradley against Mike Alvarado, I'm not sure it's going to be all that interesting a fight. Tim will back off, counter him, use his brilliant command of space to limit the contact in that fight. Whereas, you know, Rios fights the way Alvarado does. You hit me, I'm going to hit you. There'll be a lot of contact, and so that's more worth seeing to me.
This is the first time boxing has been back in the forum for a long time. Tell us how you felt about
round 7. We knew we were here. You know, I mean, it was suddenly we were back in the forum as though it was 1994 again, and the crowd was into it, and everybody was excited, and it was just great to be here.
Compare this atmosphere to all the other atmospheres, Madison Square Garden, Las Vegas.
Well, Madison Square Garden when Miguel Cotto's in the ring, you know, that's another thing. That's very much like this, because you have an enormous, largely Puerto Rican crowd rooting for their guy, and they understand boxing. Tonight you had an enormous, largely Mexican-American crowd, some real Mexicans here too, rooting for their guy, and they understand boxing. And I heard a few people at the end starting to boo Mike Alvarado, and I saw people looking around like, don't do that. You know, he didn't deserve that. So there was honor, there was courage, there was blood, there was glory. It was boxing at the forum the way it ought to be.